Do you often describe stand-up as your arranged marriage and improv as your love marriage?
It's kind of changing a little bit now.
What is it now? What's the latest status
I
update?
think I'm really enjoying stand-up comedy right now. Like, I used to say stand-up is like, I used to say improv is my love marriage and stand-up is my arranged marriage. But like lately I've been feeling a little bit like I've really fallen in love in my arranged marriage.
What's changed?
And like the affair I had, like my love marriage, it's kind of just like, nothing. I think as an artist, you just go through phases and you're trying to explore different art forms. And within comedy, I'm exploring stand-up right now and I'm really enjoying it. And I want to do it with integrity and I want to give my all to it. And I'm doing that. And I'm really seeing the benefits of when you put your heart into something, like the joy you can get out of honing a new craft. So that's it. So I'm really like, even if it's my arranged marriage, I'm really happy in this marriage right now. Like,
falling in love with the arranged marriage.
Falling in love with my arranged marriage.
Let's stay in this run then, because are there any levels of overlap between a good stand-up comic and a good improviser? Is there a correlation between the two? Or do you feel like if you're a good improviser, it can actually hurt your stand-up because they're two contrasting formats? They
are definitely two. One's obviously scripted and learned and performed, and the other is you just wing it, right? Improv, you're just on the spot. You'll see also a lot of people do crowd work nowadays in stand-up, which is on the spot. It's not improv necessarily, but you can definitely apply improv principles to it. But the audience loves seeing people come up with things on the spot as well. There's something very magical to that, to a well-written joke and to a joke that you just came up with right then and there. So while they are different completely, I think that improv has really helped me in my stand-up in terms of building my characters and my stories. And I do a lot of anecdotal comedy, right? So I've got a lot of stories that I'm telling, which improv has really helped me in. I've got a lot of characters that I play in my stories, which improv really helps. And then I also give myself I love doing improv on stage. Like in terms of, I've given myself in some jokes, I've given myself little parts where I just let myself just let go a little bit and just go into a space of improv. And then I come back into the punchline or the written joke, into the structure again. So I'm trying to find my relationship between improv and stand-up, because the freedom that comes with improv, like sometimes I feel a little bit imprisoned by my jokes because they're written and you have to perform them the way they're written and the way you've but I'm trying to find little like nooks and crannies in my jokes where I can just go off in my little improv tangent and then come back. So that's hopefully the kind of stand-up I want to be doing eventually.
That sounds very cool. Is the audience in it as well? Like, do they know you're improvising now on the spot?
Yeah,
or do they feel like
tell. No, you can tell.
You haven't tightened your stand-up set? Like you just suddenly, it feels like you're winging it.
No. But it's also like little act outs. It's not like it's not like the joke that I'm going in a tangent with. It's the little act outs that I'm going in a tangent with.
Interesting. I haven't come across anyone who actually does this.
I'm sure there are. Are You're like, Kaneez, I usually take this out. Now you've drawn attention to it.
You know, actually this happens once every 2 or 3 hours. But today, for some reason, I think sparked by your answers, they're sending more Amtraks. No, No, I don't.
Sorry.
Yeah, surprising.
Amtrak is like, stop lying.
Gives you more time to think of the answer. But now when I cut to you, suddenly this building's one floor higher.
Exactly.
Yeah, the continuity.
So don't cut it. They're like, what just happened?
Yeah, what just happened?
Don't worry.
What did she say about improv?
No,
It's too late.
But it's the only one I need.
No, I think you have...
No, you have less pieces
Do you
here.
remember in the starting when we were talking about we focus on the answers?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Like, yeah.
Okay, so improv.
Yeah.
I love improv.
No, we were talking about the hybrid between stand-up and improv, how you go into these improv bits.
Yes, I go to these I don't know who else does it, but I am trying to find how to tie improv and stand-up in together. Like the other day I was doing something and this one reaction from the audience just made me, I loved it so much because she was laughing and she was just like, what are you doing? But she couldn't stop laughing. And I was like, I love that reaction so much because I just went off into like a space where they were like, what are you even doing right now? But they were laughing. And I was like, I remember just being like, I love that reaction. That is a reaction I want to my comedy. Like, what is happening right now? Like,
is it tough mentally? Because I've taken some improv classes. I'm an amateur compared to you, but I feel like they're two very different mental states because and this has happened very rarely, but if you're performing good improv, for me, what I've noticed is you switch off completely, right? You're completely in the zone or that flow state, as they call it. But in stand-up, I guess you have to be in tune with what your set was, what you have to remember. I feel like they're two separate mental states.
No. Sorry. So stand-up, for me, at least stand-up and improv, I go into the same zone.
Oh.
I go into a zone in stand-up as well. Like while I am thinking, while it's more, I can't explain it, while it's more cerebral, I also just go into a zone. It's it's very similar to, it's a different zone, but it's very similar also. But it's a zone. Like as soon as I get on stage, I just go into a zone.
One you have rehearsed and one you have not rehearsed at all, right? So interesting.
Yeah.
But still the same zone.
Still the same zone. Yeah, it's a zone. I'm going to try. I haven't done improv in a while, so I want to understand like that zone again. But even stand-up, it's definitely a zone. It's not like I'm fully hyper-aware. It's like I just go into like some sort of flow state with stand-up and improv. And then I'm just flowing with the audience and I'm flowing with the energy on the stage.
So interesting.
Yeah,
right?
It's really cool. Oh.
It's interesting to hear that there is this overlap between the two because like you mentioned, in theory, they're such opposite formats. Like stand-up is such a rigid structure. You have to have a tight set.
Yes.
You work out the pacing, the pauses, how you play with the audience's laughter. Improv, you have rules and techniques in improv, but the worst thing you can do is come in with the structure in mind and then like stick to it regardless, right?
Absolutely. You're right.